What up, though, everybody? This is another episode of the Pop Culture 223 podcast.
What
We're
up,
back
yo?
in the studio with the bear.
Yes, sir.
If you can see, man, some of the images, we trying to get the studio together. We got a little mini fridge for all the guests that come in.
Gotta take a little time, but we're gonna get it together.
We get cold beverages here on the set.
Yes, sir.
So this is another episode. I don't remember what episode. This is episode 9, or what you think?
9 or 10 of season 2, something like that.
Something like that. We'll see. But this episode is brought to you by Firearms Legal Protection. If you are a citizen and a responsible armed citizen and you carry your firearm, please go get some legal protection just in case something happens. It's just like insurance. It's just in case. But at least you will be covered through all your needs. They cover you. Well, Bear's holding it up. They do expert witness, paying for expert witness. They'll pay your wages. So please look them up. If you go on to my Instagram page and go into the link tree, I got a link in there for you, and you get something off when you sign up. I think it's PC or PP223. But look it up. I have all the information in the details of this show. But like I said, if you carry a firearm, please look up Firearms Legal Protection, because if you can protect yourself, they will protect you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Hey, so what's been going on with you, Bear?
Shit, man. Just living the life, living the life,
Living the life,
and doing the do.
doing it, do.
I don't know if you want to talk about it. Got a new competition pistol. Well, it's gonna be pseudo my competition pistol. I ain't quite one of the staccato boys yet, or I ain't even get that prodigy like I want. But I got something new. Hopefully we can.
So what did you get? Let's tell us.
So I went and picked out that new Springfield Echelon, which I'm kind of wishing I could get more mags for, but surprisingly they're all sold out because I want more of the 20-round mags. It comes with a 17-round mag and a 20-round mag. I want more of the more of the 20s, but I can find 17s all day, but I can't find 20s, which is crazy. I want more 20s. I actually, okay, we're going to just jump into it. So I'm already a Springfield fan. It really more or less solidified it for me with the Hellcat, the original Hellcat. I got one of those, love it. I love the U-notch and ball, or as I call it, cup and ball sights. It's an easy transition to pick up for me.
Go ahead.
Right.
I don't even know why we use that. We
Right,
ain't ring
right.
from New York, but whatever. Keep it moving.
But
Shout out to Cam.
But
Mace.
right, but I like it because it's easy. It's an easy transition to pick up for me coming from holster or pulling. So that's another reason. I also like the modularity of it. I look forward to seeing the different grip modules coming because they did theirs how SIG and how Beretta have the control module be the actual gun, so to speak, the firing control module, and you could take that out and put it in different frames and stuff like that. So Springfield's still new with it, so they only got like different sizes, like the grip size, like medium, large.
So it's a back strap to go to, or
They got back straps too. But the whole firing control module
comes out
like the P320s and some of the Beretta.
You can just drop it in whatever.
Right. But right now,
that grip angle and that grip size on that gun is kind of. I liked it when I first grabbed it.
Yeah.
It was
and I think that's the medium. I think that's
the medium.
I think it's the medium backstrap because I took it home and I tried the other backstraps. The one that's probably the smaller one felt a little too small. And the bigger one, I could probably run with it with the large backstrap, but it was just kind of too pronounced as far as like the extra hump on the back. So I just put the medium back in.
That grip angle on that gun is different than what the P's usually look like. I can't think of the name of that gun.
The Alien that by Lancer. I forget what it's
something
called.
Like that grip angle. Yeah. They kind of like maybe they took that ideal and ran with it. But when I grabbed. My first impression of the gun, I thought it was good. It moved. It was kind of smooth. The trigger was soft. But once you fill a gun, mag it up, run it, that gun, guns are different. When you first grab it to when you start shooting it. So you said it was soft shooting.
I think it kind of was. So I was kind of. So here's where I'll say I don't want to say it's a disadvantage, but I know.
Well, let me ask you this: what would you improve on it?
Honestly, so the one thing that we both talked about when I came by the crib with it, it does kind of have a longer draw. Your first pull. However, but if you're still sitting on it and know how to, gauge it to the break point, and then come back. At that point, it's cool. But your first initial pull,
That boy's like a
once you kind
5K.
of get used to that, it's not bad. But the thing about it is, it's got a long reach to the break point, but it's only like 4 pounds or something like that. It's not that heavy.
That boy's like a 5K when
Yeah,
I pulled it. I was like,
yeah,
Jesus, this
yeah.
thing's long.
Yeah, it was a long pull, but once you get to say a break point, and then on your resets, it's like stupid short though. So that's a little different there. So being able to like tune that to take that that take so much of that take up out.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's really not a lot I would change about that because they. So here's the one thing that had me intrigued with it at the beginning. They literally, I can't remember if they actually advertised it like this or if somebody else said it like this. Because I'll be watching a lot of, I'll do all kind of YouTube research on different guns to see different people's opinions. But somebody said, or I heard that literally they took the best parts of a bunch of other guns and put it in one, and that's kind of what they did because so they got the.
So what guns? Glocks and MPs?
You could say Glocks, MPs, SIGs,
The
Walters.
squareness of the frame,
Yeah.
and maybe we like, because we talk about guns, we in that world. Maybe we can get like a stand here and have it so we can present it, so people like the audience can see
You
it.
can do that.
You know what I'm saying? So they can see the gun.
we
It's
can
in a
do
safe
that.
direction. Because
Yeah.
when I looked at it, the frame of it, I was like, this kind of looked like a Glock. Like it looked like a Gucci Glock or Gucci made Glock,
It
with
do.
the serrations, the
do,
way it
yeah,
felt, and
yeah.
the squareness of it.
Yeah.
And people like that. When they grab a gun, like, oh, this
Yeah.
is, I think
Yeah.
that's why people like Glock so much.
Yeah, and see, and I think that's when they said the best of both of all the worlds. They kind of weren't playing because one of the things I liked about the Hellcat, and they transitioned it to the Hellcat Pro, outside of like I said the U-notch sights, it's the grip, the stippling of the grip. The way they do it, it's like I think they describe it as like a dual height or two different height kind of pyramiding, where one height is like you'll feel it, on a regular grip, but when you actually bearing down on the grip, you feel the inner ones more, and it just kind of locks in, and it's like that. And to me, it's the gripping on that is crazy, but they got that shit everywhere, like the way that the frame is cut out, it's not a gas pedal up at the front, but it kind of feels like it's etched out to be a gas pedal.
Because they got that stippling done.
The stippling and the way it's cut on the frame, it kind of dishes out more instead of it being flat like a Glock would be. It's actually kind of curved out a little bit, so it's literally almost perfect to sit your thumb on it this
That
way.
forward, yeah. I see a lot of companies. Some companies take in like the what you want to call it, the third party part. The third parties or when you take your gun, you send the aftermarket world out like that, because a lot of aftermarket companies survive on getting guns and Gucci in them, and I can see a lot of the companies now bringing guns out that's already got Gucci or different serrations or different things on them prior, so when they out the box, they kind of ready to go.
Yeah.
So I see the company doing that,
especially out of like the big time manufacturers. Because you got smaller companies like Shadow Systems that's doing Gucci guns,
right?
That are their version of Glocks or whatever. But yeah, definitely with like the majors, like like a Springfield, a Glock, a Sig, a Smith and Wesson, and Walther, so forth.
Like M&Ps didn't get too crazy with the serrations on those M&P 2.0s.
They just gotta now. You know what? We can get.
They back, like in there, but they're not.
We can get back to the Echelon real quick, but while it's on my mind, I know you a Smith & Wesson guy. I've been wanting to ask you this: how do you deal with the grip? Because I know like their stippling is real aggressive.
So
like I've heard people say that like they can't wear like without like a shirt or something underneath, or like it'll rub them raw kind of.
Real talk. You want me to give you my answer?
Yeah.
They don't shoot enough. Because when you shoot that gun, that grip is gonna wear down.
Really?
That's this. Let me say this: every 2.0 I got. So my Gen 1.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
The Gen 1, the Gen 1 is the only one I ever got stippled. All the other ones, they talked about how aggressive the grip is, but in my opinion, I just shoot it. My hands just get used to it. It just maybe just start wearing down on that, and it's perfect. I have never took any like pad or anything to brush it down to where it's smoother.
Right.
Even against my body, I don't care. I wear shirts, t-shirts. It doesn't bother me. It's not a big. It's not a game changer for me. It's not like I'm not gonna care because that grip is too aggressive. I just be like, hey, it's a 2.0 aggressive grip.
Right.
So I haven't really it doesn't. Like I said, it's no big game changer. It's not a knock against 2.0 because everybody talk about the aggressive way the grip is. I don't care. I just shoot the gun and I just keep running it, and as I keep running it, the smoother it get, and I haven't even worried about it.
So you kind of have noticed that it was kind of aggressive
when I first got it. Hell,
but the more and more you
I was
shot
like,
it, the
this
more you
shit
kind of
is
broke
biting.
into it. Okay.
I was just like, this shit, like, cause as soon as you grab it out the box, you're like, ooh, that's hard on your hand.
Yeah, because I've kind of felt that, testing them or grabbing them like at a range or something, and I'm like, damn, that's just like sandpaper. It's like 80 grit.
But it's like it's kind of like if you're a carpenter, you use sandpaper, do some work, and it's like, oh, that's work, but it ain't. After a while, it's like, it ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it.
I've been meaning to ask you that, but while it was fresh on my mind, we was talking about it. But
hey, let me ask you this though. I seen this on Instagram, and I stole it from him. Brian, the instructor, he asked a question: Name a gun that name a gun that makes you mad just by looking at it.
I seen that shit.
I had to put it on the show, the Pop Culture 2 to 3. I had to do it. I had to do it on a 2 to 3.
No, it's plenty of them, and it's like I come from two different worlds of it. So from one world of it of just guns in general, I can't even lie. I mean, it's anything Kel-Tec. Anything Kel-Tec just makes me mad when I see it. Like, man, fuck this gun. fuck Kel-Tec, man. I can't.
Even the Kel-Tec.
Excuse my language.
Even
and all,
the little rifle, the little 9mm collapsible briefcase,
especially that
air.
Especially that one, and it take
F-16.
Yeah, and it take Glock mags too. Have that gun, man. I can't. Nah.
Anything Kel-Tec?
Nah, anything Kel-Tec. Now on the flip side of, and that's the whole me being biased because my other choice, I've been there, done that, but the other one is High Points.
I mean, listen, High Point is almost like
definitely High Points. You know what I'm saying?
You see a High Point is just a High Point. It's like
it's like, man, come on.
What's the word when you just it's just something you see. It's like a High Point.
Look, and for those that may be new, I'll tell folks in a minute. I'm a former High Point owner, but I'm one of them folks that you've seen the errors of your ways, you get away from them real quick, and you never go back.
I think of the word. I think of the word in a minute when you just got something. It's just nostalgic. Okay, it's just Man, you got a High Point. Okay,
right.
But you got a Kel-Tec. What the fuck was you doing?
Yeah, no, man.
So I told him mine was that. Now, fix me if I'm right. It's the Ruger LCP9, two-tone, the silver and pink. Like when the women I had to get this gun so I can fit in my purse. It's good for my hands and such. I said I can't stand that gun, bro. I can't stand any version of that firearm.
Yeah, man. And that's the crazy thing too, because the LC9 is actually a pretty decent gun, and now they didn't change it down to the EC9, where it's like a super duper cheap version of it. But it's like there are so much better guns out there on the market that it's almost like, I don't want to say it's a starter gun because there really shouldn't be, but there should be. It's a different conversational day of why there should and shouldn't be starter guns, but it's like. Yeah, man, that LCP though.
Hey, the guy Brian was like, bro,
like, oh my god.
Brian was like, Brian instructor was like, bro, you went down to the color.
Right.
Because I guess my issue with that is I just see so many women with it.
They throwing at
and
them.
they want to tell me why they got it because somebody else told them why they got it because this, and this. And I'm just thinking like,
pink 380. Yeah, it's like that's murder to shoot on your hands, right? Yeah. That bad boy is terrible on the shoot.
Listen. It's just they tell me this, and I just say in my head, okay, I don't. I give advice when it's I educate the uneducated when it's asked,
right?
But I just don't jump in and give advice because you're gonna tell me why you got it, and to me it's not.
Right.
It's gonna be like whatever, whatever.
I know what you mean, yeah.
But current event, man, what you think about Lake City Ammo shutting down all their Okay, Lake City Ammo. In the October 14th, news sources say Lake City Ammo plant has canceled all commercial contracts. That means that stores will no longer be able to purchase ammo from Lake City, which currently supplies 30% of the civilian market for 5.56. Lake City Ammo plant is owned by the government, but operated but it's operated by Winchester. Winchester produces ammo and sells it to the government. When the facility is able to produce more, they gonna get back to it. What you think about that?
So I loosely first I'm about to say what you're talking about, but then I loosely kind of remember hearing about that. Here's the thing that I didn't know. I didn't know it was owned by the Fed. Number one, and number two, that it was mainly 5.56 that's gonna be affected. So man,
it's war going on, so
right. So here's
COVID-19 again type
so my
situation.
my take on it is, man, I'm glad you told me that. So that means that when I get this check on Friday, I know what I'm about to go buy.
I guess and I put
just to
it's funny.
stock just to stock up. But I mean, man, that's crazy. And I think this was more or less, hey, you know what, to say it bluntly, go get your 5.56 and 2.23s right now while you can.
Well, I had a homeboy mention something to me, and I made a post a while ago, and the post was about the international gangs, people coming across the border. Chief of Oakland County Sheriff Department, Bashard,
Mm-hmm.
mentioned that these people from these transnational gangs coming across the border, they
Right.
were ganging up, and it was people from Chile, Guatemala,
You said Peru and
Peru,
somewhere else.
Venezuela. Not don't mistake me for basically what I'm saying. Crime is on the rise, and prepare yourself for such.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't just think that 911 is going to be called and they're going to be there in less than a minute to help you in your situation or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're your first line of defense in any situation.
Yes,
You have
sir.
to be responsible for you. Nobody else can be responsible for you. So me saying that, I ain't saying like load up and go after people that look a certain way.
Right. We never tell you to do that.
Never tell you to do that.
Please don't do that.
Please don't do that. Some of my homies is from, I know some people from these places. So
Mhm.
somebody had mentioned that to me, and I was like, you know what, you're right. You got to be careful how you say it, but believe me, I'm just saying like the rise in crime was going up in Oakland County, and if you from the city, you know the difference between Oakland and Wayne County. They not about to go in Wayne County with the foolery, but
About to
it's a
cut
rise
loose.
in crime in Oakland County. So basically, that's I just kind of want to clear that up a little bit. It's just like I said, prepare yourself for a situation that may occur. My thing about this was I was like, oh, we about to go into this whole COVID thing again when ammo prices was the so once they start saying this and you see all the crime, you see the media, panic starts and
Right.
people start panicking, ammo comes shortage, and then now
Mhm.
what? You know what I'm saying? Now people calling you, what you got? Well, we've been telling you to get boxes.
Right.
Buy a couple boxes, buy a couple 250,
Right.
250 rounds, throw it
Right.
away just every
Right.
check or every other month.
Right.
You by now you'd have had you a nice little,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, put away stash as ammo.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just don't get it. I just don't like when you see it, they gonna start panicking.
Mm-hmm.
Prices gonna go up and they ain't never gonna come back down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
And
oh,
if they do, it ain't gonna be a big come down.
right, it's gonna be a big, it's not gonna be a big come down. But I just thought it was like, man, Lake City Ammo is represents 30% of the civilian market, and where do we go? So you're gonna see prices go up.
See, man, I think what's gonna happen first, you're gonna start to see the prices go up a little, but I think you're gonna start seeing more people reloading again, and you're gonna start running out of that product again too.
Well, and my man Ron, the EDC guy,
Mhm.
he's like, man, you start making ammo. Um, this would be a perfect spot. Your cousin's shop back here would be a perfect spot to open up shop.
Now let me ask you this, man, because I know you do some 9mm. Why don't you do 2.23 and 5.56? Because I mean, because we was Axis 2 guns, so why don't you
well
do heavy
the
ammo?
9mm so anybody know about gun making? I mean ammo. 9mm is like it's one machine
Mm-hmm.
that can do well. It's a simpler process for a 9mm than it is a 223.
Mm.
Excuse me. 223, you gotta cut it because when you fire, it elongates.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta cut it down, shave
Really?
it. Yeah.
See, I know it expands, but I didn't know it gets.
Yeah, so
this way too.
it expands. So what it is a machine that cuts it to where it needs to be, and then you got to put it on another machine to bezel it and do all that. Put the ammo in it, put the bullet. So it's a 2-machine setup. Not to say I couldn't do it. It would make sense to have one machine for cutting, sizing, one machine to automate it to process the ammo.
Right.
With with the 9mm, the machine I got does it all.
Got you.
I can hit it. It just reframes it. It's a powder check, a case check. And I don't have a case check. I got a powder check, a primer, puncher. It drops the powder in there. I got a powder check. I got a bullet,
like the brass cleaner and all that shit too.
So what it is well, I try to get ammo or brass that's one shot once.
Right. So let me ask you this: so you don't have to use the brass cleaners then if you're getting ammo that you know is only been ran.
I use brass cleaner.
You know, I'm talking about the little boxes thing that be jiggling them and shit that clean the brass. You know what I'm talking about?
So
you know what I'm talking about.
So the brass cleaner is what you talking about? The brass, the cleaner. All it does is it cleans it. Okay, it cleans it, makes it shiny. That's all it does.
Got you. Okay.
And it just makes it shiny. It doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't.
There's nothing more special to the process.
Right.
Got you. Okay.
It cleans it. It just you put it in the meat and it shakes and it vibrates and it gets all the. It
just gets the dirt off and cleans.
Right.
Okay.
It cleans it. It cleans it. So it doesn't.
There's nothing detrimental to the process of reloading ammo that's necessarily
right. It's not
needed,
right.
so to speak.
So when I put it on a machine, that's where it kind of go through the check. But sometimes, if you look at brass, if you look at it, it might have real small cracks in it, and you gotta case gauge mine, and it could be the smallest crack in it, and that case gauge is so tight that when it go in there, it won't go all the way in. You might have a case gauge. I got a case gauge of 100. It may take 99 and be one that stuck out. And then I take it out, look at it, whatever. They're like, oh, it's a crack, and I feel it, and I'm like, oh, something in there and I'll toss it. You got machines like Phoenix Ammo. I walked through their shop a little bit, and they got a machine that checks it, takes a picture of every brass that goes through there with the hundredths of a second. It's crazy, man. I walked through there. It was crazy the things that he had in there that checks the ammo, checks the brass, and like just checks it so fast.
Are they still around?
Phoenix Ammo? Yeah, he up there.
Really?
Testing up there.
Okay.
He ain't going nowhere.
I thought they died out for a minute. Like either around or right after COVID.
Scorpion died out.
Scorpion, that's what I'm thinking of.
Scorpion kind of died out, and then Oakland County Ammo died out.
Oakland Bimp died out. Yeah, I used to love getting ammo from them.
Yeah,
because they was down the street from the job at the time when I was working there. I'm like, shoot.
Those two died out, but Phoenix Ammo kind of is like big dog around here, and you know he got a lot of contract. Well,
yeah, I was thinking of Scorpion Ammo. Yeah.
So no, it's a process. Like this building would be perfect for it. You know what I'm saying? Just to put some machines back there and start pumping it out. But they gotta be zoned for it. But you know, whatever. Hey, I got a question for you.
What up, though?
So you remember Red Dawn?
Movie? Yeah.
So what do you think about it currently?
So you know, there's two different versions. There's the old school one and the new one. I ain't never seen the new one. I want to say.
Okay, so the new. Okay, so the old one.
Patrick Swayze, right?
So the old one is Russia.
Right.
The new one is Russia and China.
Oh, okay.
So just the same.
Okay.
Same.
So my thoughts on it, man.
Could it ever be?
Man, I'll say this. I hope not, but I think so. And I hope not because I don't want to be put in that predicament. I think I don't even want to say I'm prepared enough because to me, you're never prepared enough, but you just go into it and you do what you do till you figure it out. But I'll say this. I hope we never come to that. But if we do, I think we have a solid enough plan or a solid enough foundation, I'll say, amongst...
Who is we?
That's what I was about to get to.
Oh.
When I say we, I say without even fully talking and having that plan in place, I say honestly between myself, Dub, I would say you and probably Sinister. Some kind of way it would be like a meetup of, hey, look, so this was going down. Whether it's communication this way or I just swing by your crib or swing by Dub crib, blah blah blah. Hey, this is we woo woo. And
So you saying got to be a plan in place, something.
I think there's so I already know. So me and Dub already basically got a loose plan between us. Like, hey, look, my house or yours, but you know what I'm saying, we gonna have the families here and we holding down the fort. You know what I'm saying? Whoever want to come through can come through. That's family, but you know what I'm saying? We putting all your guns and supplies, all my guns and supplies, fortify one spot, and go from there.
But do you think the way the world is going and what's happening across the seas and on our borders is it's a likelihood or
At some point it has to be, and it will.
a thought to process to put the plan in place?
At some point it has to be, and it will. So I think and honestly I think sometimes there are some things that have, and the media and the government just isn't letting us know. So here's my take on it. It goes to the Area 51 with the aliens and all that bullshit. So I think that there's a lot of things that we either have already experienced and just have not been told or confirmed, or we're due to have happen to us as a country. Reason why I say that is, if you really look at history, outside of a few things, excuse me, and even if you go back to Pearl Harbor in World War II, we have never truly, fully been invaded by anybody. You know what I'm saying? 9/11 was probably the closest you would come to that because they took over planes and crashed them into the building. But as far as like troops on ground, the stuff that like we see in movies, that's never happened here. Knock on something that it doesn't. But it's kind of ironic, right? That like literally every other country and major, countries has even had stuff like that. Even a Russia, even I think China probably hasn't, not like to that scale, at least like in a modern day. But for the most part, even back then, they never really have either. Outside of like the Ming dynasties or the Mongols or something crazy, like 17, 14, blah blah blah, whatever. But my point is like, when you start having countries like us and like a Russia and a China that have never had that, there's still too many people out here plotting to make it happen. And I think at some point somebody's gonna get smart enough to find a way for it to happen. And that Red Dawn scenario.
Well, you had Russia, but then it was the Soviet Union, right?
Yeah.
So that broke up, or however that split. So it was probably some in country or whatever.
Cold War, yeah.
Cold War going on there. It was Soviet Union, and then it broke up. Whatever. I was looking at the news this morning. It's called Flashpoint or Flash.
I know
something.
you're talking about, yeah. What's your take on it?
One senator, it was a Republican guy there, and he was just saying, they were sending aid because there's no Speaker of the House, right? We don't have a Speaker of the House right now.
Yeah, because they're still voting on it or something.
Well,
like that,
he stepped down, or the Republican fired him, whatever.
Yeah, like the dude they picked then like stepped down or quit, and then
didn't he say something against something or
like that,
or sided with the Democrats, and they like, oh, he up out of here.
Yeah, it was something stupid like that. Yeah.
So they were saying that it can't be any legislation that go forward to aid in, let's say, the Palestinian, the thing over there in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be any money or funding going over there. And I just kept saying, like, well, didn't we just get some funding to Ukraine? Mm-hmm. And I'm saying, well, dang, like, where all this money coming from? Two, we got
we print it.
We print it, but I'm just like,
no,
two.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Damn, we got borders to protect. We got a house to protect. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna need some funding. We gonna need some situation awareness going on over here, opposed to just sending funds and things over there. Now I get it. I guess the United States got to not to get it, because I'm not in the political. I don't know nothing political. I'm not in the political realm.
So here's where.
But just to keep us where we need to be, it
Yeah,
needs to be
yeah.
some
And,
like, okay, let me protect my crib.
yeah, and that's where I'm about to get at. See, and here's where the American people are so naive about things, and I don't want to say the trust of government because I'm not really one of them anti-distrust, blah blah blah. I'm legit am a in the middle type of dude. But here's where that side of it I tend to float with them as to, man, what the hell y'all doing? So you got so many people that's anti-gun this and the anti-gunners, shall we call them, that be mad about people like us that express our rights and shoot and blah 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 blah. But when times of stuff like that happening, guess what? There really is no police. You know what I'm saying? Where you kind of looking at a martial law type of situation, and in those types of events, you're going to be looking at people like us to help protect y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, have you read anything or anything?
Heavy metal militias
Yeah,
protecting
that's what
you.
I'm saying. Have you read anything about what they doing over there?
So
Like what Hamas and some of them are doing
okay,
over there?
so I was reading up on it and reading up on it, find out what's going on, and maybe you can elaborate or go in. I just didn't want to get into because you see if you look on Instagram how people be going after certain people. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I'm not
Which to me is stupid. I seen a post
like
recently.
they was going after Lucas. I
seen a couple posts recently. Like, come on,
T-Rex
dog, like,
Arms.
really? That's
You know what I'm
whatever.
saying? Like, so I'm not like, okay, I'm for this, for that, because remember, we close to Dearborn. You know, we got
right.
Detroit is a melting pot of different
and
cultures.
we got the largest population of Middle Easterners this side of the Middle East.
Right.
In the
So
world.
it's like,
So,
okay, I know you got I know the history of 42, everything that happened and why they there and who don't think they need to be there or whatever. Political powers pushing the Western, trying to push this and that. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to kind of stay away from it. You know what I'm saying? I just think that we need to protect home. That's all. That's my take on that.
And that's my whole thing, and I'm using that as a premise of need to protect home. So,
and to mind you, I'm sorry, the killing of kids, regardless of what what you hear they doing, what they're doing with them kids, that's a no in my book.
And that's what I'm saying. Like they're using old school ISIS tactics where they're literally going door to door and they're snatching up women and children. And that's what I'm looking at and saying, like, God forbid that to happen here. Then who do you turn to? I know what happens at my house. You can run up on my house if you want to, even if I'm not there. Guess what? You gonna have a problem, buddy. Y'all better start doing y'all do, and you better hope y'all either overtake it before I get there.
You better castle it, get the flag before I get there, bro.
Right, or just do something because when I get there, it's gonna be trouble.
You know what?
Trouble. But my point is, that like those type of tactics here, even if we don't have a full-on plan in place, people like us will have enough fortitude and stuff in place to be able to at least hold that back and quell that type of I don't want to say behavior, but those types of tactics, toward terroristic tactics towards us on our own soil. Like if I look up and I hear gunshots and I look out my window, or my wife looks out the window and there's somebody down the street and they going door to door. Well, baby, you know where the safe is, you know where the key is, you know where all the blah blah blah. You know how to the plan we got as far as how to fortify the house and woo woo woo. I'm on the way to the crib, or if I'm already there. But what happens when my neighbor over on this side of me over here doesn't? You know what I'm saying? They don't abide by that. And I'm not saying they do, but I'm just saying, what if they, anti-gun this and the government's going to protect me that and blah, blah, blah.
You know what's crazy about that?
You know what I'm saying? Like, then what? Oh my God, I know Bear got a bunch of guns. Hey, can you help protect me? And well, wait a minute.
You know what's crazy about that? Like, even if we don't even get into the guns or whatever, you would, even at the ground of it, like self-protection, just keeping yourself aware and protected regardless of what you use to protect yourself, you would think people would be up on that opposed to saying, oh, y'all on some Call of Duty type situation.
Right.
Y'all doing this, y'all training, No, we train because we like to do it. It's fun.
Right.
It's exercise. It's camaraderie. We doing it for other reasons. We learning a skill that can maybe save you, your family, whoever, but you would think somebody would just be like, okay, I live here. This is a situation. I should be able to protect it, protect my people in the house or protect my family and learn how to do it in a certain way.
Exactly.
And then teach everybody else how to do it in a certain way. You know what was was real dope about the Red Dawn, the new one, and I didn't catch this in the older one, that they had books. They were training, learning how to shoot and all that, but what else they were doing? They were doing how to stop the bleed, how to medicate yourself, how to stop, wounds, or how to seal it. So they had books they were reading to do that because they knew sooner or later somebody's gonna come back with a
And they was
scratch
gonna need
or
to
a
have that.
hole, and they
Yeah,
gonna need to
yeah.
have it. So I thought that was dope. And Ron, the EDC guy, was like, man, you should watch Red Dawn and see how it kind of
Correlates.
correlate with what's going on over there and what could be possibly going on over here. Not to say panic, but I seen Lucas. Was it Colin Noir? Was it Colin Noir? Somebody said, I guess one of them places, Palestine, no, Israel, told they want the people to get out, but they also told them to arm themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And
Israelis, yeah.
to arm yourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if they would have had a Second Amendment over there that they would have been armed?
Well, and so here's the wild thing, because a lot of people, so if you don't know this, they're telling them arm themselves, but them telling them arm themselves is a little different. Everybody in Israel, everybody, and when I say everybody, I mean literally everybody, is a part of the Israeli army from the time they're, I don't know if it's 14 or 16, whichever their legal limit is for it, but whichever age, male or female, they all are a part of the Israeli army. So I don't know if they're telling them that as if, like, they already have, stuff in their house and they tell them, hey, it's time, or if they just saying, like, hey, everybody arm themselves in a general statement, you know what I mean? Because I know that for a fact. Literally every man and woman, when they are of age, they are the army. It's not like the draft where back in the day it was like, well, you're selected, or how we got selective services and you have to register. Like, nah, dog. Like, as a citizen of the country, you have to go through military training
And that was
in the country of Israel.
and you know what I'm saying, like media, fake media, whatever. Like they were saying, like they see all the borders, and they say these kids, the people that coming over here were of military, and they use words matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Words have meaning, such they matter, right? Your boy Jeff said that. So they were saying these people are coming over here as military, at military age. So what does that really mean? So what are you saying? Like, what are you telling the American people? These people come across these borders are military age. Why are you telling them that? You telling them that to be scared, or like what? To say, oh, you need to be ready.
You talking about me?
No, I'm just saying, like, if you look at TikTok and social media, when they were showing videos, they keep repeating that the people that's coming across these borders are military age.
Because, so I guess what they're basically letting you know, or letting them know, is that they are of an age to be a part of their military or militia.
So they saying they secret sales is coming over here. That's
I see. So, and that's the thing. So I think. So I think it's different ways you can read into it. You can read into it and just think that they're thinking, okay, military ops. But if you also think like some of us thinking, no, if they come from third world countries, military age for them, like we just talked about,
it's like 14, right?
So we still talking about kids. You know what I'm saying? So that's matter of fact. You still want to play that clip?
Which
Because
one?
that's kind of similar. The one that you sent me, that was the TikTok clip you said you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, you can if you want to.
Yeah,
As we take this pause, I want y'all to this is another affiliate, S&C Logistics. They sell everything for outdoorsmen and hunters that to get equipped with, and they also sell chest rigs and armor plating just in case you want to get that stuff. So go check out S&C Logistics. I'm also have that information in our in on the page, and I also think you get a discount. I think it's Pop. Is it Pop 223? Everything's probably gonna be Pop a PC or something 223. But I'll post it and show everybody what's going on with them. I'm trying to play this clip that I had sent the bear. You got your Bluetooth on?
Yep. About to pull it up real quick. Make sure I got you, and go from there. Which is crazy because I'm with that, but I get a part of it. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see if it play here because it was having some issues before.
$500, $600, $700 a day or more in 3 hours, stealing your gun out your car, robbing you real quick, and then I'm at home chilling. And I'm on the Xbox, I'm on the PS5 for the rest of the day chilling. While you out here busting your butt every day to work, I can make this in a few hours. What do you tell that kid? My mama's struggling, we're hungry, but I can go out here in 3 hours, get the money, feed my mama, and our lights not gonna be off. And you telling me to go to school, work hard, and you're a college graduate, you're a teacher, and you struggling. I go into JDC, I had boys tell me I'd rather live 25 years and kick it and have everything I want than struggle for 70. What do you tell that kid? My mama can't afford to put Jordans on my feet, but I can go out here and make one hit, and I can buy Jordans for all my siblings.
And they don't care if they lose their life or anything.
No, they're not afraid. And that's why I'm afraid, because they really aren't afraid.
I'm gonna run that back just in case we didn't catch the beginning of it.
When I have boys, even when I go into the JDC, when I have boys looking at me telling me I can make $500, $600, $700 a day or more in 3 hours, stealing your gun out your car, robbing you real quick, and then I'm at home chilling. And I'm on the Xbox, I'm on the PS5 for the rest of the day chilling. While you out here busting your butt every day to work, I can make this in a few hours. What do you tell that kid? My mama's struggling, we're hungry, but I can go out here in 3 hours, get the money, feed my mama, and our lights not gonna be off. And you telling me to go to school, work hard, and you're a college graduate, you're a teacher, and you struggling. I go into JDC, I had boys tell me I'd rather live 25 years and kick it and have everything I want than struggle for 70. What do you tell that kid? My mama can't afford to put Jordans on my feet, but I can go out here and make one hit, and I can buy Jordans for all my siblings.
And they don't care if they lose their life or anything.
No, they're not afraid. And that's why I'm afraid, because they really aren't afraid.
It was deep.
So that was brought to you by Hustlers in the Hood TikTok page. At least that's what the original comment come from. So go ahead and give us your take on that, man, while I finish uploading or pulling this back up.
And that was we're gonna talk to my man John Williams from Save Detroit. His thing is stop violence everywhere. My take on it was that was probably the realest the realest Instagram thing I've seen in a minute. When a mom the work she does in the community, she went in there and talked to the kids, and they say, listen, they don't care about living for 70 years or whatever. They're just trying to get what they can get now and be happy now for 25 years.
See, but I think some kind of way we have lost our youth, and I think it's definitely our fault, but I think it's also trying to figure out how, like what caused it, because we've always had this kind of movement. Because the dope, we come from the dope era for real. You know what I'm saying? So that fast money's always been there. You know what I'm saying? Before that, it was bootlegging liquor and all kind of other shit and whatever. But I think now the mentality, like you said, they don't care. Like they really, really don't care. They shooting up, houses, kids, wives, family, women. You know what I'm saying? It really is like that. And I think honestly, we need to do a better job of like instilling in them that the short term isn't that, because it's like, I hate to say it like this. I could see people 15, 20, 25, 30 years ago being criminals in the street and having that view. Because it goes back to like we was talking about on our crossover show with with Dre and our show, Dubbing the Bear, about how it was different. You know what I'm saying? You walk down the street through the hood, you might catch an ass from or get jumped by 4 or 5 dudes. Versus nowadays, kids walking through the hood, they got to for real worry about gunfire. Gunfire may have happened back in our day, but not as prevalent as it is now. Like you said, everybody got
one dude in the crew had a 38 or 9 or something like, and it was a revolver. It wasn't even.
It wasn't no big stuff. Now,
no
like
Dracos.
Like you said, now 2 dudes got a Draco, a couple other dudes got Glocks with switches and all kind of. It's crazy. So it's like with everything being different, I think it's the fear is different, and there's a lack of fear, but there's also now there's an abundance of people like us that have been trained. I know 'cause I've trained a bunch of them. You trained some, where it ain't just I'm about to run up on my man's and get his, get him for it, like you said, get him for his car or whatever, and I can just flip this for the 7-800. Dog, that 25 years, man, you may get 25 minutes because you run up on the wrong person and boom, 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 you may not make it. You know, and I think that's the thing that we're not instilling in them. Like, it's not just about you can sit down for 25 and get 3 hots in a cot. Sure, that's stupid, but you may not live to see that. You know what I mean? It's
But I guess to switch gears on the topic, I don't think it's like that. I thinking they just living for now, and their pain is now. It's no like they got the way they fix their pain is, or what they going through is, let me get this money and let me help my people, or let me help my mama struggling, or let me help my siblings.
yeah,
They care
yeah.
about the now. I just think honestly,
And that's the worst part. That's what I'm saying. Like, they need to be taught. Like, it ain't
I
about the now.
I think more kids need to know that people love them, and also need to know God a little bit more to know that you doing something wrong.
Yeah,
Like the fear of Him, or the fear of, like, at the crib you did something solely stupid, you gonna have to deal with your parents. You're gonna
right,
deal with your
right,
mom, your dad, or
right,
whatever.
right.
I just think the kids need to know that people love them, and like who God is, meaning like to know, like, hey, He got you. Somebody loves you. You don't have to do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? To you don't have to hurt your fellow man, your fellow neighbor, or whoever whoever that, just to get ahead. There's other ways to do it.
We're at 46.
It's other ways to do it.
And I think that kind of rolls over into what Dre was talking about in the previous show, because I think, because more or less the people that she's talking about and the kids more or less that she's talking about, I started late, but they're our kids, our generation's kids. You know what I mean? They're 14 to 24, 14, well, really 14 to 20, 22. You know what I mean? And technically that falls into our bracket. Like, at my age, so like little dog that I work with, he's old enough but young enough that technically I'm old enough to be his dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I had a baby at 17, I'd be his dad. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with this another guy that we got that comes through from the school, special needs kid that comes and helps out, and we work with. Because of his age, I definitely could have been his dad. He's 19. Just so happened that because when I had my kids, I was a lot older. But that's for our age group though. That's
Right.
those kids, and it's like, oh, and the first dude, my man, he's 25, 26. So, but again, that would have been me having a baby at 17. My point is, it's like, to add to what we talked about on the other show, we're failing them in that aspect of having them, and I'm saying we as a whole, what I'm saying, as a society, to them to be able to be comfortable with thinking that that's what that is. Like, I'm living for today, and I'm not worried about what can happen later, and it's then the third, because again, us as parents didn't learn from our parents' struggles.
I think kids in those situations lost hope.
Yeah,
Their hope,
that's what I'm getting at.
Their
Yeah,
hope
yeah,
and their dreams is right now,
yeah,
opposed to, let me work on something for the long
yeah,
haul. Let me do this, and not let me not make a mess of my life, because like I
yeah.
said, my dad or my mom worked so hard for me to get here, and this, or I can't, what I'm saying, I can't do this because I know who God is, and I know, whoever God, whatever name you call Him, you know what I'm saying, you know what that is, and you know what that's going to turn out to be, after the fact. You know what I'm saying? After you go see your maker, what's that gonna be?
But let's keep it 100 on that too, though. Okay, so we also know that majority of these kids, they not coming. Was that your foot?
Yeah, I
Oh,
keep
my
kicking
bad.
you, keep
Yeah,
kicking
yeah.
me.
We both try to stretch out,
Yeah.
but they not coming from the two-parent, household.
But that's
and if they are, it's mom and dad still in the street type of thing, and they not really, there's no direction given to the kids and no discipline, and because I'm telling you, man, and it's always been like that with those types of kids and those types of environments, but it's just so magnified now versus before.
But one thing that stuck out on that, he said, "Why I'm gonna grind so hard and work for 70 years where I can get the same amount of money in less amount of time?"
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
everybody wants to get as much money as possible in a less amount of time, because I don't want to be working till I'm whatever age. I want to retire at an early age. So we kind of on that too. It was crazy that
You know what I think needs to happen, and this is going along with what you just said, but also what we've been saying together. So I think, like you said, letting them know about the love and everything else. I think there needs to be more of not that it doesn't happen already, but just more of the street dudes, the drug dealers, the killers, the gangsters that are the former that have either gone to jail and reformed or got out the system and reformed, or not the system, but got out the life and reformed. The ones that are still here that can tell the stories of they had a crew, but when I show you this picture, it's only me and this nigga alive, and he doing a bid for 45, in the jail, and he been shanked 5 times and blah. You know what I mean? The ones that can, I don't want to say the scared straight, but can let them know like this path ain't what you think it is. Is your family loves you more, and so what I mean.
Man, I see the angle you going with it.
Because it's like they hear it from us, but it don't really hit until it comes from somebody that's been there, done that. Because dog, I can tell you right now, and I'm not about to get their names, but I can tell you right now, 2 people I know for sure. One of them is family that's literally been there, done that, and they've turned their life complete 180. You know what I'm saying? Where they straight and narrow, they ain't got no warrants, they ain't got no felonies no more, no nothing. They cleared all the way out. You can see one of them right now and be like, you'd never know who dude was. You know what I'm saying? Unless you was from that time, from them blocks and knew yada, 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 yada. You know what I'm saying? Another person, I just recently found out who they were, and it was like, oh, snap. They used to run with who? That's what? Who? Oh, snap. Yeah, I'll make sure I be cool and shake my man's hand like, how you doing, sir? How you? Yeah, nice to.
Well, like I said,
but it's the knowing, you know what I'm saying? That's who they are in the era they come from. That ain't them no more. But it's just like when you know that that's what it is and you can see it. How I want to say this, the BGs do listen to the OGs for the most part, even the ones that's naughty headed now. You know what I'm saying? They'll listen to that. It may not be all of them, but as long as you can say one.
I just think it's no reinforming or like if they hear, say they can look. Everybody got a podcast, talk about some OGs or talk about situations or talk about this, talk about that, right? Or it's programs where they know somebody, their uncle, whatever. I just think they listen to them, but once I listen to you here, and I go home and my house is chaos. Like I can come to you and me and you have a great conversation. You like, yeah, I'm gonna change it. But once they get to home or to the hood, the influence of the hood and the influence of that home is not reinforming what he just learned.
Right.
And he get home, they go back to what it was.
So I think then if that's the case, we need to find a way to meet that medium to where it sticks more and they stop worrying about the immediate and what that is. Because see, here's my thing about a lot of that it's hard to explain to somebody. Like when you become a teacher or an educator, it's a love for that. You know what I'm saying? We know from talking to a man that came through. Who was it that came through? That we used to be a principal.
Oh, you talk Ronnie?
Yeah, we had a couple folks. It was him,
great,
it was him and somebody else that used to be a principal. But my point is,
Go be great on purpose.
Yeah.
Two man.
Yeah, but my point is like that's a call and that's a passion. So while they do need to be paid more, they not always doing it just for the money.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And I think that's the flip side that like them kids, like she said, them kids say, which is real. You struggling doing this? Sure, they're struggling financially, but they're doing what they love to do to educate you and to try to make you a better person. So that's within their calling to struggle here to, lead and not struggle there. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's really also being taught to those kids like that. Like, you're going to have struggles. Everybody's not going to be rich and famous. It just ain't. You know what I'm saying? And the faster way of getting to it, it's not going to live you. It's just not.
It's like I said, I think it's a mental health thing, and there's so much pain.
I agree.
Out there that they feel like if I can go 100 miles an hour and crash, I can go 100 miles an hour and crash quick. I was going 100 miles. You know what I'm saying? I lived at 100 miles an hour and I had fun. They don't look at it like, oh, this is gonna take a 3-hour trip. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's so much pain and so much mental health going on out there that, like I said, people just need to learn how to cope with it, opposed to lash out with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The pain is in them and they need to learn how to cope with it, work through it opposed to lashing out or showing, you know what I'm saying, another side of them. But I got a question, man. Switch gears a little bit since we got, you said 56? Where we at?
54.
All right.
Well, 55 technically.
Hey, if you see bullshit on IG, should you call bullshit on IG? Oh, I call it it's bullshit. Or just let it ride.
I'll say this, I want to. I probably should more, but because of the way people are, I personally choose not to. And I may call bullshit like between us.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, did you see that shit? That was bullshit, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I blast it out to everything. Matter of fact, I got one for you when we get off the air to see if it's something we kind of loosely talked about before.
Okay.
But I think it depends on who it is and what it is and how heavy it is. And like how convicted you are for the opposite of the bullshit, so to speak. Like okay, and I'm just using examples. Don't come for me, nobody. But let's say, you know what I'm saying, we on a post or we look up on a post and again, just throwing shout out to these dudes, whether you like, don't like, whatever. But let's say it's Coleon Noir and what's my man down in Texas? Texas Totem. They in a heated debate about, whatever. And literally me and you hop up on there and Coleon start talking about something literally totally far left. We know it's bullshit. It should be pointed out that it's bullshit. But, Texas Totem don't point it out. And we like, wait a minute. I know Coleon Noir didn't just... If it's super bullshit,
it's levels to bullshit.
It's levels to it. And we like, wait a minute, dog. You about to cause the whole country to start doing X, Y, and Z or thinking X, Y, and Z. Then yeah, we probably definitely should step on and stand on that ground. Like, nah, dog, hold on. You about to have a nation of people thinking that this is that and it's really not, and blah blah blah. If it's baby bullshit, so to speak, something that's I don't want to say.
And here it is.
Level of importance is what I want to say as far as for me. A step in or not step in. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I guess, on the show as this platform, I can't call bullshit or say names on bullshit, but I'll be like, I look at it on IG and I'll be like, what was the purpose of you teaching or showing this? Like, let me say this. When we go out there and train, we shoot, and I said you got your post game, you assessing the situation, you following the target down. You following the target down, and you checking your six. You looking left, you looking right, and I'm giving you the why you're doing it, right? I'm saying you're doing this because of this, or then I say, okay, well get your tactical reload in there, or get this, and you may ask me, why am I looking left? Why am I looking right? Why am I assessing the situation, assessing the area?
Right.
Why am I going back to look at the threat again? Why am I doing this? You asking me, and I'm giving you answers. But when I see somebody saying, okay, shoot. 3 times. Boom, boom, boom. Look left. Look right. Shoot 3 times. Boom, boom, boom. Look left. Look right. Why are you telling them that?
Right.
Why are you telling him that so he'll know why he's doing it?
And I think that falls into, like I said, the category of
shoot 3 times. Boom, boom, boom.
Super bullshit. Because it's like, dog. Because it's like, dog. You just tell them to do it.
I said call bullshit, no.
But you
it's
ain't
bullshit,
telling them why.
But it's super bullshit. But I guess shoot 3 times. So I say, Bear, shoot 3 times. Boom, boom. Look left, look right. You look left or right. Why
am I looking left and right? Right.
You're assessing a situation. It could be something going on over here, or you're checking your safety. It could be going on there.
Right.
Keep your eyes on the target, following them down.
Yeah,
reload.
But I'm going with the theme of, like you said, look left, look right, and I'm thinking, why am I looking left and right? Why?
And you doing it,
he ain't said nothing.
And it's robotically done. Like, okay, shoot 3 times, boom, boom, boom. Then look left, look right. You keep doing that, repping that in a situation. You make just shoot 3 times, boom, boom, look left, look right. And then that just be the end of you.
So I
just call bullshit on that.
So to put it to the levels thing, and I don't even mind saying it on this, it's like the whole thing with your boy from here, the Detroit urban whatever, the tactical dude or whatever.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking about?
I think so.
A man that was running around doing the videos, the jiu-jitsu and shit, and talking about with the gun to his head, and he trying to grab the gun and all that shit. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Now, see, he gonna get somebody hurt. I don't care what nobody say.
I think
try
that's
to
just
ride
a
with him.
marketing tool to get people in there
I
to do
think
whatever.
some of it is, but I'm telling you, KJ, from a lot of people that I talked to as well, that's how
I
he
ain't
is.
seen him in a while. You know, it's
I
crazy.
haven't either, but I'm just saying that's how he is. So if that's, but my point is, even when you put that out, even as a marketing ploy, some people are gonna think, oh shit, well if you can do that, I can do this, and it don't work. But my point is, a lot of people called super bullshit on that and called him out because it was that egregious of an act.
Right.
And to me, that's that level of egregious of
That's super bullshit.
That's super bullshit. I got to call you out on that shit, motherfucker, because of X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? Like I see a lot of shit like we talk about privately. You know what I'm saying? And again, without giving names, I see a lot of instructors letting terrible grip fly, letting people have terrible stances fly. And I'm talking about just indoor at the range of what you can do, but it's just the simple fundamental basics, like not breathing right, not trigger placement. I can look at their targets and tell like you was okay with that. I mean, it's one thing if they can't shoot, but they good enough. Let me stop. Let me not say can't shoot. Let me just say if they can't shoot proficiently to keep everything in tighter groups. I'll say that. But you just got them shooting everywhere. And it just shows that they're literally shooting everywhere. In a defensive sense of able to do what you need to do, sure. If that's what you're teaching and that's what you're doing, I got you. However, my teaching goes a little further than that to make sure you're able to successfully do what you need to do.
I just think
you know what I'm saying. So I learned that from my instructors and my teachers and my people, and so when I see that, it's like
I just thinking like because
I'm gonna just show you more than I can tell you about how bad you are. You know what I mean?
like you have a general CPL class. Teach what they need to teach, the general information. Give them what they need to build and make them happy, make them like they was worth coming in there and make them excited.
Mm-hmm.
So they come back to another class that you offer
All day.
that can dig into why you looking left, why you looking right,
day.
what is the purpose of it,
Mm-hmm.
so they can understand and they can make it building blocks, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I see that you not see, but I know that you have a CPL class,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden you got all these classes underneath it because you got a defensive class, you got a defensive tool, you got a rifle, a defensive rifle class, and you're indoors and you teaching it, and then you just getting it because
Two over.
you just getting it because of your affiliation with whatever company you with. You know what I'm saying? Not saying the name, but you get the affiliation. That means like, okay, you about to start teaching some bullshit because you ain't. In my opinion, if you're not writing your own curriculum, that's just my opinion. If you're not writing your own curriculum and giving it to them, then you just reading some curriculum from somebody else is some bullshit. Because I just feel like you should be able to, if you're gonna be into that world of teaching advanced training, that means you should have got some advanced training prior to like you take that advanced training outside that you got, and you bring it inside with what they teaching, you put it together, and you give them something from both.
I agree.
To help them understand it.
Wholeheartedly.
That's just my opinion.
Wholeheartedly.
So that's just my look at it. But I just want to say, look, I seen some on IG. I'm about to call some bullshit. That's bullshit. So I know we ran over a little bit, about 2 minutes. I want to get this in. Uncoil Firearms on October 24th is having a women's range day. Angie.
There you go, ladies.
There you go, ladies. Angie is an instructor up there. She's doing a ladies range day on October 24th. I'm gonna put the information in the on the YouTube. Please go follow us. Please go share. We need you to share, to follow, all that good stuff. But they are having a range day for women, only women, and it's October 24th. I think it's from 6 to 8. But I had that information up and I'll give it to you.
There we go.
And that's it from us. Like I said, gang recognize gang. We recognize you, so please recognize us. And I'm out.
Here we go. We out here. Peace.